Hey guys, it's Mooski. Horrible run yesterday. What the fuck was that? Listen, I wasn't expecting it to be the Byler explosion. Shit. I wasn't expecting a Byler explosion, okay? But they didn't even get like any scenes together. Mike barely talked. What is going on, please? And if we don't even talk about any of the ships, the writing was so astronomically horrible. Writing, chop. Pacing, chop. Dialogue, no. Sense being made, no. Time being wasted. I was fucking screaming at the TV. Why was Max and Holly just standing there doing a monologue? Hey, what if your little portal closed? Why don't you fucking run? And there was like no music. Like, okay, suddenly the music doesn't matter, so are you like retconning that? Like, I don't. And the soundtrack was so lacking. There was no fun songs. Where was Heroes? Where is Small Town Boy? Like, no, should I say or should I go? No, Brick in the Wall. It was seriously lacking. Shock Jock was pretty good. And then once we started getting past that, and it was getting to like 15 minutes left of episode 7, it was like, guys, also the plot with Holly, I wanted to like it. It was just not doing it for me. Nothing was doing it for me. Although the Dustin and Steve was really sweet, I enjoyed that arc. They really acted the fuck out of that. That was good. Noah's acting, I know people hate on him. I'm not gonna like open that can of worms right now. But you can admit he acted the fuck out of that coming out scene. And it hurt me too because I knew it was real to him. Because he's experienced that. It was real to me because I have done that. I've done the exact same thing, coming out as a fucking apology. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's fucking awful. And you know what? I think it was a little bit insensitive. I think it really was because the gay character central to the show, central to the plot. Sorry, let me brush my hair. Have the gay character that is central to the plot come out like that under those circumstances? Are you fucking kidding me? So bad. Just so bad. It was the 80s. The height of the AIDS epidemic. People weren't fucking joking. It's like they're downplaying homophobia. It's like they're downplaying and making a fucking two-dimensional joke about how it really was. It's like they're watering down the experience. And it is still, in 2025, not all that different. Okay, I'm exaggerating by saying it's not all that different. At least we can get married now and we have rights. But I'm saying is that I wouldn't come out to a room of that many people that I didn't know. Because even now, it is still so dangerous. And in this political climate, to pull something like that, it's genuinely tone deaf and insensitive. And I'm holding multiple opinions at once, to be fair. Because it was sweet and heartwarming. But when I thought about it and let it sit, it was upsetting. It was so upsetting. He didn't get to come out on his own terms. He's lost his autonomy again. What? The plot? We have lost the plot. It doesn't make any sense. Even if we're not talking about Byler at all, which I'm literally not even talking about Byler. I'm just talking about the plot itself, unrelated from that. So, okay. Let me get this straight. So, he just harnessed powers to save everyone by thinking of the boy he's been in love with for so long. And now he's like, well, and I just accepted myself and it's fine because he's not like me. And everybody's like, okay, yeah, okay. When people are making that point, and when he said like, oh, he's my Tammy, for one, horrible writing, horrible dialogue, like that, it was just, the dialogue was horrible, the dialogue needed to go, or me. No, stop it. Stop that this instant. Just shitty writing. When he said he was his Tammy, listen, a lot of people are taking that at face value. I think it's kind of stupid to take that at face value because that's what Will thinks. That's not necessarily the truth. He's an unreliable narrator. But it still just fucking pissed me off because that's the message that they're sending. They know that. They know how that looks. And just the way that this was hyped up so much, it's a huge disappointment. It's all build up, very little payoff. Everybody's getting saved at the last minute. It's, like I said before, you cannot suspend your disbelief that much. I understand it's a show that involves interdimensional monsters and a wormhole, but it has to be believable in some aspect because it's just, okay, and Karen was like fucking, half dead, and now she can get up, rip out her IV, and thinks of putting an oxygen tank in the dryer, and like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, honestly. Listen, I still have some hope, and I will get into that, but I do need to clean my room. I just wanted to record this part first so I could get my thoughts out and then finish cleaning. I will let my thoughts simmer, and I'll be back once my room is more clean. Okay, I decided to get a little experimental, and I wanted to record myself building this little miniature for the background, just, I don't know, to cure your eyes, give them a rest from the dumpster fire that we all just witnessed. And thank you to the Amazing Hope for this. Very excited, so I'll be building that. Anyway, I want to say that in terms of Byler, I don't think that we've lost yet. Have we won? Definitely not. My expectations, I went into Volume 2 with extremely low expectations, and somehow they pushed the bar into hell. Like, honestly, I was shocked with how bad it was. Episode 5, I think, was pretty good. After that, it was just so weird. The pacing, the dialogue, the writing, the plot armor. I mean, seriously, maybe if this were an earlier season, if this wasn't the final season, and especially the second to last episode ever, I would feel differently. But it just does not feel like a good penultimate episode. It really doesn't. But aside from that, I will say, with how bad the writing appears to be, even if Byler is endgame, I seriously do not appreciate them pushing it off to the final episode. I don't think that's good writing. I don't think it's fair. I don't think the writing so far has been great. The disconnect between Volume 1 and 2 is kind of insane. Volume 1 had these like iconic moments that everybody was super excited about, that were super cool. It had charm, you know. This volume, no charm. I didn't feel invested, and I love this show, and I really was not invested in it. It was just like exposition, and like I said, no payoff, no fun, no charm. Like, it was really seriously lacking. So the finale is gonna have to really knock it out of the park. I'm setting my expectations low because I really did not expect it to be this bad. I never could have foreseen how bad it was. I didn't think there would be a huge Byler kiss or anything, but the fact they didn't even get any scenes together was kind of insane. I will say, though, all hope is not lost, because even though I'm putting a lot less trust in the Duffers to make sensible decisions, it gets to a point where it would be really ridiculous for them to leave so many things unaddressed, because, you know, and I think this is really stupid, but they really haven't resolved arcs. They haven't tied everything up. It's gonna have to all go to the last episode, which I think is pretty shitty, but that's what it is. And it would make the most sense for them to address these things. And if we're specifically talking Byler, the painting, I mean, Finn said that he was told it would pay off, so, I mean, God, I hope we'll see something with that. And Will says that we'll see that something finally goes right for Will. And I don't know, if he was talking about him having powers, I just don't see that happening, because in the end, it's not a net positive. They also need to address the mind flayer and everything. They haven't addressed why Will was taken. It's just really a lot of plot holes, and I'm seriously scared that they might not pull this off. It might not be very good. So I'm setting my expectations low, but, you know, not unreasonably low, because I trust that something's gonna have to make sense. So either we got queer baited at a historically horrible scale, or we're getting horribly written Byler. So, I mean, I would take it. Even if it was horribly written, I would still take it over nothing. But Jesus Christ. So, my doubt isn't that low, honestly, because there's still a lot that needs to be explained. And, I mean, look, I don't know if they are going to explain everything or if they're just going to leave it be, which would suck. I'm really just shocked at everything, to be honest. But, I don't think it's over just yet. Like I said, we've got about 10 elephants in the room that need to be addressed. We've got the snowball and the avalanche. It doesn't make any sense for them to completely abandon that thread. Also, when is the stuff that we learned from the first shadow going to come into play? Because I was really not understanding why that was so absent. I just hope we get it. Can we at least get actual, like, cool, good scenes? Because what if I want to make an edit? There's no good shit. Like, the only cool part that sticks with me is when Will took over Henry and was telling Max to run. That's the only, like, cool thing I could think of editing. So it's really... They better seriously come in clutch. It's going to have to be crazy. They're going to have to do a really good job. Also, why are they so scared of killing anybody off? Just fucking do it, okay? You could have just killed Jonathan and Nancy right there. Oh, the last second, something saved them. It's just so... I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing, you guys? But, yeah, I guess that's kind of my thoughts for now. There are some good theories that Will could have been under the influence of Vecna during the coming out. Some people say that because of his wardrobe being very different and the way that he was acting, like, contradicting himself, which, like I said earlier... I don't think that Will calling Mike his Tammy means that the show is doing that. I think that that's just how Will sees it. I think he's trying to downplay his feelings to be more palatable to the public, to be more palatable to the people that he knows. Because, it's easier. It holds less weight for him to say, oh, I just, I had a little crush. That's not what that was. And Mike wasn't his Tammy. Mike was his Mike. It's different. And he's reducing his own feelings, and that's kind of his own detriment, if that makes sense. But I'm still holding out hope, because nothing's been explicitly shut down. We might still be misdirected. I'm not holding on to that much hope, because the Duffers have shown me this volume that something in their skills is quite lacking. I wrote better stories in my creative writing notebook in first grade than I could write circles around these two men when I was 7 years old. But aside from that, it could be a really bad way to build up to the plot twist that Mike also likes Will. I can see that happening, and I think it's a poor decision, but it's definitely possible. So I'm not casting a bunch of doubt right now. And, guys, we gotta beat the jobless allegations, and please go outside, okay? Go outside. It'll be fine. We will be okay. Let's chill. Thank you. If you are in line for Byler, stay in line. Do not leave the line. I repeat, if you are in line for Byler, stay in line. Okay, guys, closing thoughts. Here with my dog. So, okay, trying to, make things more concise from what I said. Do I think without a shadow of a doubt that it's Endgame? No. Unfortunately, I do have more doubt now, because obviously I do. I'm not a perfect person. Do I think it's possible that they're setting us up so that everybody thinks it's never gonna happen, and then, boom, it does? It's definitely possible. So I wouldn't totally close yourself off to the idea yet. I would still try to have fun, because this is the last time we're gonna get a new season of Stranger Things, so maybe try to have some fun with it and stop doom posting. Let's try to have fun. Let's read fics. Let's make edits. Let's make it good. Let's have a good time, you guys. We can be sad about it afterward. Let's just see how it happens, okay? We can... I just dropped my phone on my dog. We can make sure that the IMDb ratings are super low, but let's give it a chance first and then see what happens, okay? Much love.